92 in the shade and the ice was melting. I was 3 weeks behind on the rent and the landlady was after my blood. The hire purchase people were threatening to repossess the car, and all I had to look forward to in the next week was some extensive root canal work. I needed a job, and I needed it bad. I could sniff the trouble in the air, and it smelled like Chanel No. 5. I was lingering like the humidity, and it meant one of two things: an ex-girlfriend or a high-end hit man. Some of those tough guys sport strange sexual preferences these days. Either way, I figured it was better to play it safe. As usual, my nose proved me correct. And it wasn't just perfume I could smell. It was money. Money and trouble. Trouble with a capital D. D for dame.
I thought a guy like you would have a bigger gun than that.
It packs a big bullet, babe, and that's what counts in the long run.
You'd better be careful then. I'd hate to get injured.
I doubt I could miss.
Why don't you take a seat?
That's very kind of you, but I prefer the view from up here. Nice underwear.
I'm not wearing underwear.
And this will be the first time I've been hired to find a lost pair of panties.
I had heard you've got a good nose.
Let's can this sweet talk, hun. A gal don't let herself into a strange guy's office almost dressed like that unless she's up to something.
Who writes your dialogue?
I'd offer you one, but I doubt you'd drink 2-star.
You're that right.
So are you here for a reason, or are you just decorative?
I'd like to hire your services.
By the look of you, babe, you'd wear me out.
I assume from your frivolous attitude that you do not want the job.
You assume wrong. What can I do for you?
Take a look at these photographs.
Well, the donkey looks like it's having a good time. Who's the girl?
My twin sister.
If that's her act, that's her act. What am I supposed to do about it? Find her an agent?
My husband is in a rather prominent position. If these snapshots wound up in the wrong hands, they could, well, tarnish his reputation. Damnation by association, as they say.
Are we talking blackmail?
It would seem that way.
Do you or your husband have any suspicions as to who the culprit might be?
Yes, an employee of my husband's. I would like you to trail him for me. My husband knows nothing of this, and I prefer that it stay that way.
Well, I'm not cheap.
I'm not poor.
So tell me, Mrs. Mystery, do you or your husband have a name?
Yes, you will see it on your paycheck.
Any references?
I had no idea that the private investigation field was lucrative enough for you gentlemen to be choosy about your clients.
Well, it's a bearish market at the moment. I'm willing to gamble.
Good. But a word of warning, Mr. Rice. Please tread carefully. My husband has friends in dangerous places.
Isn't that high places?
No. And stop staring at my tits.
Then cover them up. I'd hate to strain my eyes, especially before I start to tail someone.
Geraldo Ortega, the suspect in question, lived at the wrong end of Cahuenga Boulevard. It didn't take too much digging to discover he was an employee of Roxas Industries, a property development giant owned and operated by one Lawrence Landau, a heavy hitter. So it didn't mean wasting much more gray matter to figure out the dame with the décolletage was his wife, Carlotta, the Carlotta Landau, the one from the society pages. I'd been following Ortega all afternoon, and his behavior certainly didn't match that of a blackmailer. At 1:30, he drove into town and extracted $50 from an auto bank. 2 o'clock, he went to South Beach, where he purchased a butter pecan and lemon lime sorbet waffle cone. At 2:30, he picked up a female student from outside St. Eunice's and drove her to Diamond Point, where his vehicle remained parked for the next half hour. They didn't appear to do much talking, but I couldn't be sure. The girl's head was obscured by the dashboard for most of the time. 3:30, he dropped her back in town, supplied her with a $20 note. I guess it was his rostered day off. Ortega was acting in a fairly normal fashion as far as I could tell. Nothing suspicious whatsoever. But it was getting so goddamn hot in the car, I decided to head off for a stroll and check out his domicile at closer range.
Holy shit! It's okay, kid. It's just a flesh wound. A few stitches, you'll be fine. Hey, kid. You know how much dry cleaning costs these days? Leg. Watch this, kid, huh? What's this? What is it?
I was tossing up what to do next when the sound of a siren heading down Cahuenga helped me make up my mind. It was time to split. Legba. What the hell was Legba? An ice cream flavor? A social disease? That new rap act on EMI? I can't warm to rap myself. Give me the blues any day. Speaking of which, there were 2 boys and such waiting outside my pad. Once is happenstance, and twice might be coincidence. But in this trade, you can't afford to stick around and find out. This whole thing was beginning to smell of more than Chanel No. 5. Was beginning to smell of a setup.
Well, Mrs. Landau, I have 3 things to report on your blackmailer.
And what would they be, Mr. Rice?
Firstly, he likes a schoolgirl. Secondly, he's dead.
I see. And what would the third thing be?
He ain't no blackmailer's asshole.
There's no need to be so crude, Mr. Rice.
I don't know. I always considered murder to be pretty crude. Come on, Mrs. Landau. I think it's time you came clean with me.
Would you care for a drink, Mr. Rice?
Great idea. And I think you could do with one too. It might help loosen your tongue up a bit.
I'll see if our bar stocks something suitably down market for you.
Thanks, babe. You're a doll.
I had her on the defensive, but I gotta admit, that dame had as many moves as a rattlesnake, and I bet she could be just as deadly when she wanted to. I was starting to feel a little like maybe me and Carlotta were meant for each other. Maybe there was a little more to this than met the eye. It seemed to me that we could maybe spend some time together after this was all sorted out. But I don't know. The ice, he just doesn't seem to get that lucky.
What exactly are you doing, Mr. Rice?
Nothing, lady. Just a bit peckish.
I mean with the case.
The case?
I purchase your services for a rather simple task. I pay you generously, and you turn up at my home accusing me of untoward behavior? Your employer?
First of all, lady, no one buys the ice. He can only be rented. Secondly, with the ice, what you get is what you get. And that includes integrity as well as good looks. Now, I'm perfectly happy to terminate our business relationship right here and now, unless you come clean with me. I won't even charge you penalty rates for when I skip my lunch, or even overtime when I head down to the precinct and let them know exactly what it is.
I'm sorry, John. I should have been honest with you from the start.
Yeah, you should have. And I prefer Johnny.
Those photographs aren't of my sister. They're of me.
What a surprise. That little fact doesn't solve my problem, though. Obviously, Ortega was up to something that made it worth someone's while to want to see him dead.
I don't know who killed him. Honestly.
Well, why don't you start by telling me what you do know?
You know who my husband is, otherwise you wouldn't have tracked me down here.
I am a PI, babe.
He's currently involved in a deal with a South American consortium to build a chain of tourist hotels along the banks of the Amazon River.
Popular tourist destination?
Shut up. But the environmental group has been trying to stop the project from the start. Protesting, petitioning, creating bad publicity.
I would assume a thing like that wouldn't stop a man like your husband.
Well, it didn't. But they infiltrated Roxas Industries and tried to sabotage the project by putting a virus into the central computer system.
A virus? Tell me more.
I wasn't exactly what you'd call up on this newfangled computer shit, so I figured my next best move was to pay Hal Yukino a little visit. Hal was a hacker on the edge of the Everglades west of Fort Lauderdale. He owed me a favor or two. Something about a computerized white slavery ring involving vacationing college girls he got himself mixed up in, which I saved his ass on. If anyone knew computers, it was Hal.
That's no virus, man. That's voodoo.
Voodoo?
That's right. There's a spirit in the main frame. Legba. I'd know that bastard anywhere.
I'm a straight shooter and a straight talker. That technical computer gibberish don't mean much to me, but I got the general gist. According to Hal, Legba was some ancient Colombian voodoo spirit that dated back to the Aztecs. These days it's wild away its time, haunting computer systems. So what the hell did Ortega have to do with it? The plot was getting about as thick as the humidity, and as crooked as Carlotta's lines. There was something strange in the air, and all I knew was one thing. I weren't gonna find no answers in Miami. It was time to hop a flight to Colombia. Hopefully, it wouldn't be on a one-way ticket. If you think Miami's hot, you ought to try a day trip to Colombia. The place gave new meaning to the word humidity. I didn't know whether to walk or swim. I touched down in Medellin on the 920 from Key Biscayne. In the Dead Iguana where they served the margaritas and fish bowls, I mentioned the name Legba. The place cleared pretty quickly, except for one old tic-tac monster too bent to move. He just pointed up at the mountains, gibbering something about Laterado. 4 hours and a bus ride and a hot road to hell later, I found myself perspiring to death in the jungle, somewhere west of Laterado. Johnny Ice, the first man to die of drowning on land, 10,000 feet above sea level. I guess I downed one margarita too many.
Who are you guys? The PTA? Legba? Comprende de English?
Os miran sacrificio el magnifico.
So what are you guys doing down here anyway? I thought all the spics moved to Miami. Lotto.
El gringo. ¿Qué pasa?
Okay, guys, let's go.
I was starting to feel a little like maybe me and Colorado were meant for each other. Maybe there was a little more to this than met the eye. It seemed to me that we could maybe spend some time together after this was all sorted out. But I don't know. The ice just doesn't seem to get that lucky. The ice, he just doesn't seem to get that lucky. To get that lucky.
Yeah, well, that's real cute, hon. But you wouldn't have any aspirin, would you? I got a killer of a headache.
Quiet, heathen. You're about to be sacrificed to Legbar, the Great One.
Sacrifice? Those weirdo babes didn't say nothing about that being part of the guided tour. Christ, it's hot in here.
Oh, Great Legbar, please accept this gift of blood from your humble servant.
Look, lady, I don't care what you do, but could you just please turn up the goddamn air conditioning?
Makara, what are you doing in the garage?
Nothing, boss. Just having a bit of a party.
I knew it! How many times have I told you? No sacrifice in the garage! The blood spots over, it punishes the pussy and stains it! Take him out back!
Who the hell are you? Legba?
Ice? Johnny Ice. I was wondering how long it would take you to get here. Hey boys, come and tie this gringo. Come on upstairs for a martini, Ice.
Martini? You wouldn't have anything cool, would you? Like a frozen margarita?
The margaritas are for wimps. Yeah, martinis of a Southside Vegies, but seeing as that's all you got on offer, and we'll have to do, and seeing as you're being so hospitable, maybe you can furnish me with some information. Like who the hell you are, and how the hell you know who I am.
I am Zeke the Gable Ice. A former business associate of Landau's.
Sounds like you and Big Larry had a bit of a falling out. What's the problem?
Beyond the crest of that hill, Ice, lies the banks of the Caquea. 700 acres of prime jungle real estate, upon which currently grows the world's largest cocoa crop.
If you're on a good thing, stick to it.
It's my sentiments exactly, Ice. But Landau, he wants to make the Roxas legitimate. He wants to rip out the cocoa and build a tourist complex.
I wouldn't say no to another drink.
So I dispatched one of my men to Miami, just to give Landau a taste of the trouble I can cause him. But I believe he met with an unfortunate demise.
You could say that. He kind of fell down dead in the laundry. So if you're not Legba, who the hell is?
Legba is the great voodoo spirit. Spirit of the Matrix.
Cut the crap, Charlie. I had enough of that hoodoo mumbo jumbo from the chick with the flick knife downstairs.
There is a world you don't know of, Ice. There is a world the world does not even know of. The great computer matrix, which runs the corporate machinery of this planet, is inhabited by living entities. Just as we inhabit the physical world, Legba inhabits the silicon.
Holy shit, this is getting weird. I think I need another drink. Who the hell is this Legba dude anyway?
Here, within this bottle, Ice, looks Legba, the great one.
You mean, like that dame in the TV show?
It was scram time again. before someone started taking potshots at me. Maybe back in Miami, or it might possibly be a degree or two cooler, I could figure out just what the hell was going on here.
What the hell are you doing, kid?
Nothing.
Don't look like nothing to me. What are you doing? Letting the air on my tires?
I wasn't honest.
Don't diss me, kid. Looks like you're heading for the finger.
The finger?
Yeah, the finger. Get in the car. Yeah, kid, the finger. Why'd you do it? Huh?
Because the guy paid me too.
Who, kid? Who?
I don't know, just some guy. Who? The guy in that silver building in town.
The Roxas building.
Yeah. Can I go now, please?
Take off, kid, before I give you the grog. You'll think twice before touching the ISIS car again.
I just didn't get it. Why would someone from Roxas pay some street punk to let the air out of my tires? What was they gonna achieve by that? Unless...
Son of a bitch! Can't a guy have a goddamn ice cream in peace?
Unless I'm smoking, I just can't shoot straight. I tried to pay my pal Hal another visit, but he wouldn't let me through the front door. Not with that Legba thing in my hand. He was spooked. Real spooked. So I asked him, what the hell was I supposed to do with it anyway? So Hal gives me this universal remote and says, if I was to break into Roxas head office and let the mother loose in the computer system, it'd wipe their internal security program out and unlock their dirty laundry closet for public access. All the Roxas shady deals will be plastered across the morning's headlines. I guess that made it the only chance to save my ass. I just wish it wasn't a goddamn Sunday. I hate working Sundays.
Not again. Carlotta!
I thought you'd show up here sooner or later, Johnny. Why did you have to go and stick your nose into everything?
I'm a nosy kind of guy, babe. Careful with that gun.
You know I'm going to have to kill you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Can't we just discuss the cut and pay? I mean, I'm a negotiable kind of guy.
No dice, Ice. You know too much.
Hey, lady! I got blood all over my suit! Careful with that thing!
She sold drugs. She raped the environment. She killed my donkeys. She was evil. She had to die.
So Carlotta did have a twin sister after all. Her name was Annabelle, and she was Carlotta's double in virtually every way but one. She was a nice girl. The story broke immediately, and the sleaze was splattered all over the morning tabloids. How Landau was going to get himself out of this one, I didn't know. But I didn't care either. It just didn't seem to matter anymore. I was off the hook, and I was off to the farm with Annabelle.
Mr. Landau is very annoyed with you, Mr. Ice. You ruined his weekend. But Mr. Landau is a very, very generous man, Mr. Ice. He just wants you to go away. But if I catch you, Mr. Ice, you're dead. They have infiltrated every aspect of life. The courts, the banks, the government, and even the stock market.
That takes a lot of cash.
They have it.
watch it pass you by. All your friends, they die. Life's a gas, someone said. Christ, all its highs and lows. Well, it's the way it goes, swinging to and fro. Sign right here for your higher purchase. In your car there is a purpose to keep on pushing on. Fast or slow, well, it's the way it goes. Here today, gone tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Accelerated, put me on the bus street train.
ticket for your letters of proof. Johnny's testify.